very popular American president who had Nigeria very close to his heart. And Obasanjo said during his incarceration by the Abacha junta, Jimmy Carter was available to appeal to Abacha that he should be released. So he was a man of service, a great teacher of the Word of God, an inclusive personality who stood for the right of human rights.
Yeah, he was the 39th U.S. president.
Yeah,
The 39th.
39th U.S. president. He was born in 1924 and died in 2024.
October 1, 1924.
So the significance is birthday and his, year of demise is significant.
Yeah.
And he's the only American president that has lived like that. So it's actually quite synonymous to history,
Yeah.
as far as history is concerned.
He ruled from 20 January 1977 to 20 January 1981. That was his presidential term. Yes. And so, that's it. I think that's it all about Jimmy Carter.
Then another issue that was trending again is this wildfire in America.
California.
Yeah, California precisely.
Yes.
Los Angeles.
I really do not know how that fire started,
Yes.
but it's really dangerous. You could see the red, very red light. I don't even 1,000 poles to that fire, you feel the heat. It's
The wildfire. And I say that I thank God for Nigeria.
that we don't experience such things. Even hurricanes, we don't experience.
I thank God for Nigeria, so
We're a blessed country.
so it's just that our human nature in Nigeria is it should not be well. But you see, okay, look at those in California now. A lot of people want to say, I want to go abroad. Where do you want to stay? I want to go stay in LA. I want to stay in LA. I want to stay in California. Look at what's happening in California. Wildfire from nowhere. From nowhere. As a result of climate change. The hurricane. You understand? And an explosion. The fire just took off from nowhere.
It just happened. And brought down so many buildings.
Yeah.
Properties were lost.
You needed.
I saw a supermarket. The door was gone.
Look at it.
Okay, that's it. These are
Look at it.
people's houses.
You understand? From nowhere. It just keeps moving. I mean that is this a spiritual attack?
See how red? It's not a spiritual attack, Tanu. It's not.
Okay.
It's climate change.
I'm a man of God. So,
I know.
So I always look at it. Worry will agree with me because worry is also a man of God.
The whole place was just covered. Just imagine the level of damage that happened. And this is John talking about the
So much to talk about. He says it right on now. Trump refused to give California wildfire. Look at
engine bringing down buildings.
structures coming down.
Such a pity.
Now they say no water to quench the fire.
Do you know how many water would be, or how, the quantity of water rather, that would be needed to quench that kind of fire? Do you know? It's really massive. It's a big one.
So far, 16 people have been recorded dead, as a result of that inferno. And 16 have also been hospitalized.
I think that this morning it's going to
Hollywood.
Hmm.
And funny enough, I read, that there was this award that was given, and God was zero. God was zero, in the award. Hollywood, California is Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
The hobnob of the America movie. And when it was time for presentation, I don't know what, I don't know but I just heard it. I just saw it. That in that category, he gave God 0. So God did not even get anything.
God.
Yes.
Mm.
God did not get anything.
So
Unless they were giving other categories. They were scoring other categories.
All right, thank you so much.
And God did not have. God had 0. A country that did not recognize God. A few hours after, the fire started.
Okay.
And you see there's still God. Oh yeah, prove yourself. Prove yourself.
Okay, so.
I saw God prove that He's God.
All right.
The God that answered by fire.
He's your God now.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so please.
Let Him be my God. God that answered by fire.
All right, let's quickly go to the papers. I'd like. Okay, before the papers, I think we'll just take our special guest. Let's go to the guest corner, and then when we come back, it will be time for the papers. So we'll go on a very quick break to get our guests on set. So we'll return to the time for papers. Stay with us.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Let's go! No. Let's go. If we continue like this now, where we go end? Bros, calm down. I know say, it be like say all of us the best now. But more will not say, any damage where we they cause now, not to our own state. And when we talk about our own state, we they talk about ourselves, about our family, our fathers and mothers, our wives, brothers and sisters, even our children. If we use our own hands, scatter where we get as our own, now where we go call our own again? Now truth it all go. After all, Governor Sheriff, he don't promise say go do more for Deltans. Now wait till make us come dey fight now.
When see our guy dey talk so, it makes sense.
You see now. No be lie. We need peace today, so that we go fit experience the more agenda. Meaningful development for all. But where there is no peace, there cannot be prosperity now. When they fight, they prosper. No need for the fight. Now peace and unity. Now we want. It takes peace to experience more. Together in peace and unity, we will experience the more agenda. Brought to you by Delta State Ministry of Information.
not
is.
what I'm
Alright,
telling
you're
you.
welcome back. Still on Monday's edition of your Top Flight Television program, Morning Ride. It's time for our guest, Kanya. And this morning we're going to be looking at corporal punishment. Is it useful? Is it a useful tool or it's an outdated tool? We need to know first about corporal punishment, what it entails, and if it is okay to use corporal punishment in training our children, especially in schools, looking at what happened in a school or what has been happening in schools for some time now, and then the recent happening in one of the schools concerning a 3-year-old child and the teacher. Joining us on that conversation is Mr. Shadrach Azemoho. Mr. Shadrach Azemoho is the Secretary, Nigeria Association of Social Work, Delta State Chapter. Good morning, sir.
Good morning,
to have
madam.
you.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, sir.
Glad to be in your midst again. I'm a friend of DBS.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming. All right, so let's talk about corporal punishment. In your own term, how would you describe it?
Well, corporal punishment is a form of discipline. And it has been there from time, even from when God created the world. So it has been there. So it's a form of discipline which entails physical force, which sometimes brings a degree of pain and discomfort to the recipient. The purpose is to either control or to correct a behavior that is maybe not acceptable by societal norms, family norms, or schools and regulations, or even the working space. Right? There are rules and regulations which guides our conduct and behavior. And when you fall short of that as a deviant, you're expected to have some punishment. So, punishment is the main word. Corporal punishment is only an aspect of discipline to enforce certain things to see that somebody is kept on the line. It's a conformist, not a deviant. So it's not, I think it has been there right from time when God created the world. God knew that certain person will misbehave. And so he put certain laws down. The 10 commandment is there. And he expects that you should comply and respect the laws of the land. Respect the laws of the family. Respect the laws of the school. Respect the laws of where you work. And that is how it's supposed to be. So, but we now see it as nowadays it's becoming something that is highly debatable. It's the current thing we know that it's still a debate whether it should be still useful or it should be outlawed. And in fact, I want to add here that many countries have outlawed it. The Nigerian nations have also spoken against it. It should be outlawed. It's not a very good form because it brings about violence, increase more incidents of violence. But the extent people go, based on their emotional stance, they could go beyond what they're expected to do. But it's not to say that it should be completely outlawed. It has its own benefits.
Okay. You said corporal punishment is a form of discipline.
Yes, it is.
Now, is it supposed to afflict injury on the person being disciplined?
No. That is where we miss it. Once you inflict injuries, there's no more correction. It becomes against the law. But that child you're punishing, or you intend to correct his behavior or her behavior, ought not to have injuries as a result of your punishment.
Okay,
So we speak about moderation.
yeah.
Moderation. Because whether we like it or not, we're animals. Human beings are animals.
Higher primates.
Very high animals. So sometimes we veer away from the path and we are called back by that action of discipline.
Okay. All right, before we go further on other questions, I'd like us to take a look at the video to see what transpired between the 3-year-old boy and a teacher, all in the name of corporal punishment.
Write 6 for me. Write 6. Six. like this. Like this. Now your 1. 61, 61. Right. 6 is like this. Like this. Your 2. 6 to 62. Right. Like this, that's 6.
Yes. You see, we're looking at that video, and
Joe, I can't even
something
watch.
told me that that teacher was actually teaching the child, and the child was not tally along. You understand? And you know what it takes? You are teaching your child, for example, and the child is not, working in tandem with your teaching. Anger will come into you and say, "What are you saying? You mean that this simple thing you don't know?" Something also told me now that if you look at the child critically, the child is putting on the dread hair.
No, that's not a dread. You know this
Dada.
that yes, is it that they call
That's
it?
the dread now.
So it's
That is
not
that
like
a
he's
form of
putting it
dressing?
on. That's
cool.
his.
And do you know
his-
that? Do you know that that can also even make the teacher even get angry more?
That is not done by the parent.
Who did?
That's
No,
how he was
the
born.
parent did not teach the child that way.
That's how he was
Because
born.
that was how the guy was born.
That's how he was born. Yes, you know, people come life. They come with this dread.
Yes.
And they don't cut it because of their belief, and they let it grow.
Yes.
So that is not a justification
But do you know that?
to treat that child that way.
do you
It's
know
not the
that
child's
that-
making.
Do you know that can also add to the teacher's
It should.
attitude?
It will add to the teacher. That's for a teacher that does not understand what that hair means. You don't carry out your anger on a child because of the look of the child. It's not the child's fault. You can't tell me a 3-year-old child will know what is dread or what is a cornrow.
It's a carryover.
You should take it out on the parents, not on the child.
It's a carryover of aggression.
And that repeated slap is a no-no for me. If you want to teach a child, you teach the child with love. Because when you start beating the child, the fear is
Fear
already in
will
the
be
child.
there.
The child will never learn anything in that
Lily,
condition.
let me tell you something. You know that some parents would rather prefer to allow the teacher to teach the child. I try to put myself I try to build my chemistry into that of the teacher, especially with my kids. When I try to teach you something and you are not compromised, the tendency to want to be agitated naturally comes in. Do you understand? But that is not also a good way. Because in the process, you want to say, what is your head with blocking? After teaching you, what's the problem with you? Parents are not patient with the child. And so they want to leave the child with the teacher. And so when you now leave a child with that kind of a teacher, it's expected of the teacher to say, okay, probably this child is a smooth learner, right? There are other mechanisms at which I can apply to that by way of methodology, to pass this message across to the child.
All right, Mr. Shadrach, you looked at that video now. Let's come back to you. What's your take on the action of that teacher, and what do you think should be done to that teacher if what she did was wrong?
From the video clip I just watched, that act is condemnable. The extent of punishment was very, very, very bad. For a child, an offense is committed. It's a commensurate punishment you give. You must look at the size, the age of that child, and look for a method of enforcing or correcting the child, and looking at the age of that child. Because if you do it above that age, it becomes a criminal offense. Now, hitting the child with your physical hands, not once, not twice, the child will not have that trauma. He may not want to comprehend again, because you already put fear into him. That's not the way to pass information on or learning. You're already an animalistic behavior. And should not be accepted in society. Is a child of 3 years. You could spank the bonbon. Okay? Can't you understand what I'm teaching you? And with that kind of spanking, the child will not get injured. Alright? The child will know that auntie wants to learn this thing. And you give room for a second chance. You don't learn at a time, at one point. We all went through schools. I mean that we read the book, we don't understand. So I mean that teachers giving us a query for not doing that. We write exams and we fail. Like I tell my children, I have to read 10 times to understand what is happening, for instance. Some people are slow learners. So if you are punishing a child, look at that child and then look for a commensurate punishment that will not inflict injury on that child. When you inflict injuries, you're already against the law, and the state will come after you. The child have a right. But are you hearing me?
Yes.
The child have a right. And because the child have a right, you must ensure that his rights are protected, are enhanced, and the environment for learning is conducive. Okay? Then I also want to say something here that we have a default somewhere. Corporal punishment does not happen only in schools, like I said earlier. It happens in the family unit.
Yes.
As parents in a nuclear family, we have such challenges as well. For children who will not want to learn fast. For children who will sometimes begin to become deviant. And before we know it, because we are now in Gen Z period, we pamper these children. I'm coming, it's true.
Yes.
Oh, it's okay, don't do that next time. The child does it again. Oh, he's too young to be spanked. You leave the child. Before you know it, it becomes a dry fish. You now push your responsibility as parents to the school or preschool institutions. Maybe your daycare centers, your crèche and all of that. Your primary function as parents, you have left it. For who to do? I know we have the hard time where the economy is so bad. The husband is working, the wife is working. And they don't have time for the children in the morning or have time to spend time with them. You see, the first point of socialization is the family.
Yes.
When you leave it to the people in the streets, the caregivers in the schools, what have you done? The people you are leaving these children to, you don't even know how they grew up. They're just workers, my brother. My sister, they are workers. And they have not that same love that you have as parents. Are you getting the point, madam? You see, the worst home is better than the best orphanage home. The worst home, from my experience in the service, the worst home that is so bad is better than the orphanage home. Because in the home, you as parents will show love to these children. But in orphanage home, madam, my brother, they are paid workers. They are caregivers. The amount of love you give to your children is not the same as what you give to your own children. But you leave your assignments, God give it to you, and you push it to the preschool. To say, go and do it, I'm going to work. Or you give it to your nannies at home to do your work. Would they teach the child better than you? How much do you want to make that is valuable to the life of that child? So first of all, the errors in the nuclear family. Society must be good, nuclear family must be very well balanced. Madam and Oga, train your children, find time for them. Know what they do. You have norms in your family. You have values you respect, you honor. We talk about child right, for instance. I'm sorry to say this. Do we find the same vigor to talk about child responsibilities? We don't do that. I attend programs a lot. The slogan, the emphasis, child right, is good. Very, very good. But what vigor do you apply when you talk about responsibilities? See, I want to say this here, as I said from beginning. Discipline has been from beginning. But the way we are going about it now, we are going too far, not measuring the offense committed with the punishment to be meted on that particular person. A 3-year-old child, you can't be easy your hand, physical hand, to punch or to slap. You could cause damage to the eardrum, okay? And that can may not be reversed. The child become one who cannot probably speak well or hear properly, having hearing impairment and all of that. You've caused physical damage to that child. Maybe he was not able to reverse it because one, you were angry, and also teachers and parents need regular talk, training,
and
retraining, because sometimes out of anger management, we don't know how to do what we call anger management. Our emotions become so high that we don't know when to draw the line. Like my brother was saying, sometimes you want to see, before you know, your hands are moved to slap the child. And the force with which you slap that child, your force is higher than that child's weight.
Yes.
So it becomes a problem.
You can see the way the child was moving after the...
You understand that? So the level the woman went to punish that child is not acceptable in law. Are you getting the point, madam? So what I'm saying is that, not that corporal punishment is bad. It has its own good side. Because sometimes you keep talking and talking to the child, it may not even change. Sometimes you do what you spank the child. For instance, as a woman, you'll give your child breast milk, okay? And she bites your nipples. What do?
You spank
You spank the child. Next time, you look at your phone, it's not something breast. Maybe we'll be angry, let me not bite. You know that biting this nipple is offensive to you. It has caused you discomfort. So the child will next time be careful when taking breast milk. Is that not a punishment?
That's right.
It's punishment.
That's right.
All right? And also, when you say you want to be more modern, more Gen Z family, parents, it's good. But at doing that, you have Indomie children. You have them. They are like biscuit bone. All right? You train these children, they can't stand by for themselves because you over-pamper them. Look, some of us that went through certain schools, we thought initially it was a bad thing. But the model are alive today to know how to respect elders, to know when to be responsible, not just to talk about rights. But what are we seeing today? A child is flogged, parents go and arrest teachers, beat them up in the classes. How will those children respect those teachers? So what we are saying is that while we are saying what she did is wrong, extremely wrong and needs to be dealt with, thank God the matter is already in the hands of the law. Let the law take its course. But the truth of the matter is that corporal punishment in itself has some benefits. Why we want to talk about lowering them, if we are doing them, we should follow moderation. Moderation. Not that because we stop it. How many fights do we have in society today? Look at the streets. Our children are outside doing so many kind of things that are awful. They're against the norms of society that they were trained with. Then they raised to become wealthy. The lot of things I do was saying, drug peddling and all of that, drug use. Madam, we're still saying, where do the children come from? From families. So what is wrong with those family heads? Where did they miss it? Because they left their assignment to caregivers that are outside. They have little or no time for their children, and they learn things from the internet faster than what you will teach them.
Sure.
And there's a cultural conflict here. The Western world culture and our own. We have left what we are used to doing. Most of us that went to a public school like I went to James Welch, I know what I went through. And when I came out, I became better. I lived now like a regimented human being. There was time for wake up. You have to do your morning prayer. You go out for your morning duties. You come and take your bath. You go to dining hall. From dining hall, you go to your assembly ground. From there to your classroom. You go out. You come out. You go and take your afternoon meal. You go out for your siesta. You come out for your games. From there, you go to the prep chapel. After your prayer, you go down to your classroom for prep. And by 9 o'clock, it's lights out. I'm used to that lifestyle. I organize myself every day. I draw what I do for every day because I got that training from the secondary school, the boarding house, the Jameson Grammar School. So let me tell you, you are punished when you have done something wrong, but don't do it to the point where you inflict injuries on that child.
Yes.
And for any child you want to punish, look at the age of that child and make sure the measurement of the punishment is equal to that child.
Yes.
But saying to be outlawed completely, we will have a problem somewhere.
Yes, Mr. Shedrack, I like to be on the same page with you because it's more, it was more like a Spartan training, because rolling through all of these processes, there were even times where you had to give students, who didn't get it right, what you call the V portion. The V portion is a portion that has no end. You just keep clearing it like that. It has no end. But nowadays, we don't have that. Because you see, there's no what you call you don't have any moral upbringing. Most schools now are now day schools.
Yeah.
But if you were in the boarding house many years ago, just mentioning even your neighbor prefect alone is enough for you to it's enough to smoke you back
Exactly. You join the queue.
into your
Nobody
home.
tells you.
You
It
understand?
was discipline.
Going to the dining hall alone was more. But nowadays the children go from home, to school.
Fly their shirts.
Uh-huh.
Misbehave on the
And
streets.
so the parents look at it that okay, whatever you met of their children is corporal punishment.
Yes.
Then we had soldiers in schools
Then, yes.
who had this bamboo stick. 8 o'clock, don't be in school. So for me, the corporal punishment should still be there. But inflicting injuries
No.
is a no-no.
Yes.
You
So
know,
it's not acceptable.
we went through all of this corporal punishment. Just like we did say. A senior who is a class 2, ordinary class 2, will tell you who is a class 1 that you are a raw material. And they will tell you, go and fill the bucket with a spoon. So you can imagine the distance between where the tap is and where the bucket is, where you go, take a
So
spoon
you
of
go
water,
back.
go back.
That's a good punishment now. At least when you do
At least
that.
if no injuries there.
No injuries.
It asks you to pick pin.
Big pain, yeah.
That's all right. Or just squat.
You understand?
You feel the
But
pain
it's
on
not to
your
inflict
take-
injury on that child.
they tell you
That's
take-
what we saw is very bad.
Take the Okada,
You take Okada levels, yeah, riding Okada.
riding
Just
Okada,
push on there.
that sport.
hang on the air.
And you hang there. Okay?
You
So
know,
not to use sticks and what do you call it? Physical belt to. Because by the time you do it, you surely see scars on the body.
yes.
And when we see that scars, we'll take you up. It's wrong. Don't do that. Don't allow that. It's not good. In social work, it's not a good practice. That is wrong. That is an animalistic behavior. They are human beings like you.
So what should be the moral training, so to speak, now? Because these children, like you said, they are all Gen Z children. Bobo,
Indomie children.
Bobo, Idobi, there's the papas, it's papas children. They didn't go through what we call the napkin, where your mother will use one particular napkin for 6 months, training you up as a child. And once these children don't go in conformity with the trend, they seem to derail. Now you see a child who tells the mother, no ma'am, I won't go to school today because I don't like that teacher. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, it goes down to this. A child that wants to learn will love his teacher. Because the teacher radiates love in teaching him or her. Many teachers, they are also human beings. There could be transferred aggression. All right? Maybe from home, she's not happy coming to school. There's pressure economically, there's no money in her pocket, in her purse. All right? You don't know when you get the next meal. All of those things influence the way they dish out knowledge. It also affects the recipient, the child, learning in a conducive environment.
Yeah.
So I think I suggest that going forward, there should be room for training and retraining of teachers on how to manage a classroom. Anger management, emotional management. Psychology should talk to them more often. Organize training for them. Ministry of Education should do that. Social workers in school should have social work. There's school social work. Schools should encourage social workers to be posted to schools. Every school should have a social worker. We call them school social work. So that they begin to do their work. They're not counselors. Counselors are talking about what courses you will read, but the social worker will look at the issues that are making this child not to learn well. What is wrong with the family foundation? Why is the child not picking up academically? Why is this deviant behavior going on? That is the work of the social worker. So he has his own office or his own office in that school and should be encouraged by the Ministry of Education. Engage social workers to be in schools as we engage the guardians and counselors. They're two different jobs, they're not the same job. So we have a lot of social workers who can be engaged. And when they do that, all this friction of sin, proper advice will be given. Proper education will be given. And then the teachers themselves, school management and the Ministry of Education, to organize regular lectures, seminar for teachers on anger management, classroom management, crowd management. Because sometimes you go to some schools, the number of children in the schools outweighs the competence of that teacher.
100 in a
They
class.
have,
You tell this one, do this, he's giving you, say, there are 10 or 15 or 20 people to be talked to on that day. They
That's
talk
true.
and talk and talk. And because the thing is that the parents have carried their responsibility and given to the caregivers.
That's true.
No, see, there's
Just
a
carry
pressure.
your children and
There's
dump
pressure.
them.
We have left our own job undone. Let's identify that first. If we can get that corrected, then we'll find time for our children, know what they do. The chores that we're doing, let them do it. Let them be responsible. Let them be respect. Let them have concern for the norms and values of the family. When we have that settled, madam, society is settled.
Do it, but
Do that.
come to really
Do
speak
it.
about it. Do we really have guidance and counselors in our schools today? There's a fallout, a fall short of guidance and counselors. Because I give us a typical example, of the so-called modern technical colleges that we have. They admit as many students as they can, and tell you it's political. All right? I've never seen a school where you say a child fails a class, and you tell the child the child has failed and failed out. So that means the child. And this age that I'm saying. In our time, if you fail a class, you repeat that
repeat.
class.
Repeat that class.
The school does not tell you because you failed, then you failed that. Where are you sending that child to? But because of the system failure, they don't have guidance and counselors who would nurture these children. Okay, you see a child is not doing so well academically. You call the child, okay, what are your areas of expertise?
Yes.
Where can you do so well?
Do well.
You just say, no, because the child has failed SS2. You check the time. Modern Technical School, I want to be quoted. Modern Technical School, Asama. For example, I want to be quoted and let the headmistress or whoever is just come and ask me. Because I have a case that we're handling now. You say the child failed out and failed out of school.
No repeat at all.
No repeat. Where are you sending that child to?
To another
So
school, to
all of
another
this modern day kind of education, to me, it's devoid of a lot. You don't have guidance and counselors there. You don't have social workers there who should ordinarily handle children, with such deficiency. To say, okay, because tomorrow you don't know what that child can be.
Okay, Mr. Shadrach, I would like you to run through the method of corporal punishment for those who do not understand or who do not know how to mend corporal punishment. Give us some examples of corporal punishment that can be given to children especially. Just give us a few.
What I will suggest first of all, a punishment of say, okay, you have done this repeatedly. The Gen Z method, you will not watch program today. You won't watch cartoon today.
Yes, and it really
sometimes
those
it hurts them
kids.
because they want to watch the
Want to
cartoon.
watch when they're just
So
hearing
you
the
tell the
volume
child to
and-
go into the
That's
room
true.
and
Yes.
stay for 2-3 hours.
Yes.
Don't come
Yes,
out. You won't
that's a
watch
good one.
today. You are not behaving well. Okay, next Sunday we're supposed to go for outing. I will not take you out for outing
Yes.
because you did not wash your plates. Are you getting the point?
Yes.
I asked you to read 1 to 10. You couldn't do it. I won't buy you ice cream, or I won't take you out for outing. These things, they value them.
And you buy for others.
Buy for
Let
that, they don't
child
buy for
see
that one.
See others take
It's
that
another way
thing.
of
Yes.
correction, of punishment to make correction.
Yes.
All right, and where it requires even, it's okay, you want to punish the child using other instruments. Look at the age of that child. Do you need a stick for a child of 3 years? You don't do that.
On your fist.
Or your fist. So you can now say, okay, come here. You don't hear any word. Come. Then you hold him and bring his buttocks and use your hand. Do it. Do it. Don't do that next time. Oh. Say yes, mom. And the next time the child changes. I give an example of a child who is sucking. He doesn't know anything. That child's an id. All right? In child development, an id. He's still learning things. So at that stage of learning, you spank the child for biting the breast. The child will look at you. That means what I did is bad. Next time, he will avoid that spanking by making sure he doesn't bite the breast. That's not done correction there. You do have to just stick to hit that child. So every child, every punishment, every offense has a measure of punishment to give. Even the legal system, there are also punishment for crimes you committed. So that's why sometimes they take you to the prison. It's okay. Before you take your meal this morning, give him 10 strokes. Have you not heard that before? They flog the person before you take your meal in the morning. They flog you in the evening. Are you getting the point? So there was sometimes even in remand homes, they teach children like that. You give them some stroke of the cane. That's a legal system. So for us, as not only in the school, see, when we're talking about the school, also look at the family. It happens there. We use the cane, we use the belt. But how do you use it? Where do you use it? What part of the body do you use it? Is it just flog at random, anyhow, before you know it, you burst the eye? Or you slap a child with your strength and you burst the eardrum? That is wrong. That is against the child right law. But are you hearing me? We don't do that. You must exercise moderation. Because if you spare the rod, you spoil the child. And God said the rod. God did not mention cane. That is telling you that if you are correcting that child, correct it in such a way that you will not go back to that misbehavior. It's for correction of a behavior. It's to control a behavior that is antithetical, that is not in line with the norms and values of the family and, of course, of the society. A good family is a good society. It's a good school. It's a good workplace. Because your training from beginning will lead you. Train the child the way you should go. When he becomes an adult, what happens? He won't depart now. What are we teaching the children? But I'm sorry to say this. I'm not a Gen Z parent. I'm not in that class. Me and my brother were in the same class. But young people who are parents today, they spoil their children.
Yes.
They don't even beat their children. They don't even spank them. See, you're not helping these children. Discipline is good. So that the wrong areas of the child will be corrected right from the cradle. You don't allow them to become secondary school children before you start correcting them. They already turn to dry fish. So I agree that corporal punishment is offensive and it's not good if it is done without moderation. But to stop it entirely, I don't agree with that. Because it has its own role in correction and in control of misconduct and misbehavior. Which if we don't do it, what we are seeing in the street now in the next 10 years will be worse.
Well, you're right. Thank you very much, Mr. Shadrach Azemoho, for bringing us up to speed on corporal punishment. And like you said, it should not be abolished at all. All we have to do is apply it moderately. And in teaching a child, I would say, I think the best form of teaching a child is by singing. Because I know how many things I learned via singing. My teacher will come to the class and tell us, okay, we're learning this today, so we have to sing it. When you sing it, you know, the rhyme, it keeps going, you can never forget it.
Okay, also this was that chombu. My son, I sent you to school to learn how to spell chombu.
You start spelling the jumbo one by
There's this topic, civil duty. I learned civil duty via song. I have.
That's
I think-
civic duties.
Yes.
Civic.
What?
Civic
What is?
education.
Yes. You know, when the teacher came into class that day and said, "This is our topic for today. We're going to learn this." So repeat after me. Civil duty, I don't do that imposing hours. You know, that was how, and that was years back, and I still have it till date.
Okay.
That was over
It will stay.
25 years back, and I still have it till date. So I think that is the best form of teaching a child. Let's sing to
Singing.
them. Yes.
Okay.
Those
It's a
little
good
children,
And I,
sing
and I,
to
and I,
them.
and I, and I think, and I think,
okay.
I think the modern age teachers also do that. For example, speaking to Barney, I love you.
That is just going blank. You see,
You
you
know,
think your children know the national
Barney,
anthem more than
Barney.
us because
For the singing.
they sing it
Regularly.
regularly. If you sing to a
Barney
child
just-
once, that child will grab maybe a few. You sing to that child the second time,
That's true.
the child will just pick it up.
Exactly.
So that's the
So
best
that
one
method
instead
is
of
to be
beating
taught
and
method of
beating.
teaching.
Yeah, just
That's why
use it
that-
to make a rhythm like a song and then teach them.
That's why I'm saying that the old teachers who went to teacher training colleges,
Yes.
they are better teachers.
Yes. And colleges
They
of
know how to
education.
impart knowledge.
Yes.
Colleges
My
of
son was in
education.
Hollywood. Two of them. One day my wife just got and said, "Look, these children they don't know anything." I went to Wharf to clear goods. Ministry sent me to Wharf. When I left the money by his wife. Paid the school fees and said yes. Before I came back, she carried them from Hollywood
So another
to Women African Primary School.
Okay.
And when I was, why now? Say, let them be there. They're not going to the school, Bobo, and to eat and then play. Oh, don't worry, they are doing well. They'll do it next term. They'll do it. I'll keep paying school fees. Took them there. Do you know that the first term they got to Women Primary School? My child who could not read began to read.
That's nice.
So this is an architect. They learned how to read in Ministry of Women African Primary School. With school I felt is for the low class.
Yeah.
That's where they got the knowledge from. Not the private schools.
That's another
But
thing,
teachers we have
segregation
there
of schools.
are not well, they're not trained teachers. They are just looking for jobs to sustain themselves. So how would they have the teaching skills to impart knowledge? You just talk about singing now. It's a very good method. It sticks in the memory over years. Okay? Instead of using the cane to enforce teaching, they're using the whip or your fist to enforce knowledge onto children, which is wrong. Before you know it, you are already engaged in Child Right Act against the right of the child.
Okay. You know, since we started, we've been talking about the teachers and parents. What exactly are the responsibilities of a child?
A child, first of all, must be respectful. Must understand the norms of the family. Every family have a norm. What are those things that are dear to the family? One is respect. Two is your task in the house. Now, what we find out is that if you can look closely around your environment, many children don't do house chores because their mothers depend on eateries. Are you getting the point?
Yes.
You go to eatery and buy food and come. They don't even know how to cook. Young girls can't cook because they don't cook from beginning. Young girls cannot sweep the house, but to them it's punishment. You go and employ house helps. They're not training that child well. A child will be in the home, cannot see Uncle and say, "Uncle, good morning, sir." What will you say? Have you experienced that in the school, outside, madam? You see a child walking past going to school and she say, "Good morning." You will not see ma there. You will not hear ma.
Somewhat irritating.
They will never greet you. All right? Where do you learn that from? It's from the family. Because you must see your parents greet each other,
Yes.
husband and wife,
Absolutely.
greet your neighbors, respect them, respect the laws or norms in the home. Those things they ought to know. This is the father and mother that will instill in the children, which we are not doing. In fact, some families are doing it, not all the families. But I'm saying that we have no time to do it. We should sit
like this. 6 like this. Like this. Now your 1. 6 1 61. Right. 6 is like this. Like this. Your 2. 6 to 62. Now your 1. 6 1 61. Right.
You now go out and do your money duty. You know what next to do.
Yeah.
So before you know it, you are having a good training. That training you ought to have from the family. When you and I refuse to do it, you have to teach those children and they will teach the wrong thing. They will teach them the wrong. So you should teach them from home
Okay.
what it means to be responsible. It is your job as a father and mother. If you don't do it well, society will help you do that side and will get wrong on one side. So do your own work, find time for it. I know money is good, the economy is hard, but please create time for your children. Because if you miss it from that nuclear family, let me tell you,
That's
nothing the school can do. Because the school also have a pressure.
All right.
The office have a pressure. The first point of socialization is the family unit, which is the nuclear family. So you must sit down, know the norms you have, the values you cherish, instill them in the children with love, ensure that they do them, they are respectful, they are dutiful. Are you getting the point? So when they now go out, they go with that knowledge into the preschool. They go to that knowledge into the main school system, and they look refined. Society is at peace. There's no social vices. In fact, we reduce to the bare minimum. The Gen Z we're having today will come down on its own.
All right.
So we should begin to work as parents. That is where the fault is. The fault is in the nuclear family.
Thank you.
We've left what God ought to have done.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Shadrach Azemoho. As it is now, parents, you have most of, in fact, 99% of the responsibility
It's not teachers.
to raise a good child. It all depends on you. So I'm very sure that you're going to make a U-turn, you know, train your children, train
The
them
way
the
to
right
grow.
way to go. And when they grow old, they will never depart from it. If you give your child the best training at home, when your child goes out, your child will not even be an issue to any teacher.
Yes.
Your child will be coordinated, responsible. So everything depends on you, okay? Not when you don't train your child at home, and when your child goes out and they train your child in a wrong manner, you will be the first to cry out and go call the law to arrest. That's because you did not do your assignment at home. All right, that's all we'll be taking on this particular topic. Thank you so much, Mr. Shadrach, again for talking to us on corporal punishment, if it should be outlawed or we should sustain it.
Yes, to me, I like it rather sustain.
Rather sustain it.
Sustain.
It's,
Yeah, of
We've
course.
done the moderation.
Of
yeah,
course.
yeah,
With
yeah.
moderation,
but,
yes.
Let the moderation come in. And also, modern day tasking for teachers, retraining and training, so as to be able to manage their anger management.
Yeah.
You know, because most of these teachers, you know, they come to school frustrated. It's either they've had issues with their husbands, they had issues with their family, they had certain financial responsibilities that they cannot meet up with. So you see, what they carry out what you call the transferred aggression
Yes.
on the children. You know, but if you have to walk by, you know, when the likes of myself and Shebra, when we went to college, you know, then we'll have a better
We
understanding.
should return back to basis.
Yes.
Return back to better.
All right,
Eh?
thank you.
Come back
We've been
to better.
speaking with
Starting
Mr.
better.
Shadrach Azemoho, the Secretary, Nigeria Association of Social Work, NASO, Delta State Chapter. We're going on a very quick break. When we return, it will be time for our dailies. Stay with us.
Governor Sheriff, they give us more better things for Delta.
Na so I hear, so na truth.
Na truth oh, this Ugeli why they stay so.
Yes.
Governor Sheriff, they do roads.
Na so I hear.
He not only they do roads so, they also they do drainages to make sure say the roads where we go they get for Delta, not go poor. And you know say Governor Sheriff, they ready to give Deltas the best.
Yes. He talk now before he enter power.
As man you they talk so, Adakbrasa road on Adakbrasa now where you take they go they meet that girl.
Which one?
That girl will say she not go fit marry you.
Okay.
Governor Sheriff don't rehabilitate Adakbrasa road. Yes so. It's just about 1 year where Governor Sheriff enter power, so him don't start and complete different projects. Some of them he rehabilitate them.
More agenda, of course.
Yes, so
You see, this thing when Oga Peter they talk so. Na truth. Just about 1 year in office, Governor Sheriff don complete different projects and he still dey do more. As I dey road dey travel the other day, I see and say Governor Sheriff dey do rehabilitation for High Expressway, a 3-kilometer road.
Now, not be only that one. Recently, when I travel go see my friend for Warri South, I come see am say Governor Sheriff him don do rehabilitation overlay of Ejegba community main road down to the roundabout.
Na that one you dey talk. Me, I just dey come from Oriso. When I hear say Governor Sheriff they do flyover and say na Julius Berger, I say make I go see with my eyes. Seeing is believing. I reach there, I saw they look. I see and say Governor Sheriff they construct flyover from PTI Junction to DSA roundabout. I say now wow, Governor Sheriff just start. He go start with legacy project so. And it dey progress so, even as we dey talk so.
more agenda.
Governor Sheriff transforming Delta.
This village Ounde, so this road now Wagba village. We thank our governor, Governor Sheriff. We make the road better for us so we fit pass the road well now.
Brought to you by Delta State Ministry of Information.
In the heart of the Niger Delta, where tradition meets modernity, there lies a community that has for centuries. In the heart of the Niger Delta, where tradition meets modernity, there lies a community that has for centuries shaped its destiny through strength, unity, and resilience. Welcome to Anioma Trends. Anioma Trends bring you closer to the news makers and inspiring stories of those shaping the future of Anioma land. Join us every Monday on DBS Asaba by 7 p.m. Wednesdays on Quest Television by 8 p.m. and a repeat on Sunday by 8 p.m. and Saturdays on NTA Asaba by 10:30 a.m. as we sit with leaders, intellectuals and influencers who have become the change makers in Anioma society. Anioma Trends, your window into the rich aesthetics of the Anioma people.
right, we are gradually getting into halting the rivals. Let's open up and look at what the papers are actually saying this morning. Lilibet,
Yes.
you kick-start it quickly.
Yeah. We're going to kickstart with the Vanguard newspaper. And on the screaming head story on the Vanguard, OPEC quota eludes Nigeria amid rising oil output. You can get the details on page 10. The writer says why oil output rises, and this is according to Lukobiri. Also, we have pipeline vandalism, theft, others hinder output. Most oil spills caused by oil theft, sabotage, and this is according to Shell. NNPC, security agencies uncover 33 illegal oil connections. Investors go for new oil, gas assets. Finally, on the rider, we've introduced critical regulations, and this is according to NUPRC. Christian elders charged Tinubu for attending Arab Islamic Summit. And that's on page 8. On page 10, Serap drags FG governors to ECOWAS court over misuse of Cybercrimes Act. Miship Tasso, Bayero heads to Supreme Court. We have PDP crisis, fear grips secretariat staff as activities resumes. A writer says, obey court's judgment of Femin Okoye as PDP scribe. BOT chair Wahbara tells WWC. And on sports, we have Chile. NFF begs Nigerians to support him. Repentant bandits seek forgiveness over atrocities on page 13. And that's it on the Vanguard newspaper this morning.
All right, that story for review this morning. It's The Guardian. The Guardian is a newspaper for review this morning, and it has below the masthead, Nigeria tours European Union's pact, integrates $146 billion shadow economy in gross domestic GDP plan. And on the flashlight, Bayero heads to Supreme Court over membership at Tulsa. And we also have states and our fallen heroes harp on peace and security. Also, the Guardian newspaper makes reactions, trail announcement of Owade as the Alafi elect. And also from the Vanguard, the Guardian newspaper, Obasanjo reveals how Jimmy Carter saved him from the Abacha junta. Diaspora group endorses Sheikh Tinubu as next governor of Lagos State. And I speak to you as far as that component of the conversation is concerned. It's been endorsed for the governorship. All right, that's it on the Guardian newspaper.
And next is the Punch newspaper. Serial outages. Dangote NNPCL total 247 firms dump discuss generate 6,500 megawatts. And the writer says operators blame poor supply for move, and FG laments exit from National Grid. Ogun housewife stabs husband to death for alleged infidelity. Okay, I'm sure she'll go in for it.
She's gone in for it, that she will.
PDP factional secretaries set for showdown, vow to resume today. NAF unveils tough rules to curb airmen's exodus. How Qatar intervened to save me from Abacha's gog, and that's according to Obasanjo. Again, 16 civilians killed as NAF bombs Zamfara bandits. And we have 80th anniversary GGU to honor Channels TV. Okay, that's it. We have Oyo files murder charges against Oni's ex-queen, amongst others. And that's on the stampede that happened during the UTAG season. That's all we'll take on the Punch newspaper.
All right, for want of time, we'll take on the very last paper for today, which is the Nigerian Tribune. And the Nigerian Tribune has above the masthead. 5 years after, Nigerian vehicles financing scheme may commence this month. Newly adopted national automotive policy enters second year. A home build has grown under challenge of inadequate artisans and craftsmen. And we also have this story above the masthead, but we'll just go straight to NLC $6 on tax reform bills. Confusion, lamentation, trade Lagos ban on single-use plastics. NDLEA seizes 6 vehicles, 40-feet trailer load, skunk in Abuja midnight raid. And there is the screaming headline here: federal government probes rise in religious tension in Southwest. The writer says operators question Sharia proponents in Oyo arrest traditional worshipper for desecrating a Quran. And Fashio-led CPC wants Southwest governors to declare state of emergency on the security architecture. On the flush left, Ibadan Stampede Court determines bail application today. Suspects a fresh 18-count charge. Soldiers kill over 25 terrorists, destroy Judges camp in Zamfara. Below the photo speak, PDP anxiety as 2 national secretaries resume today. And let's see how all of these play out as far as PDP, the major opposition party, is concerned.
Okay.
You better get.
Yes. So that's it. And that's all we'll take on our daily list this morning. You can grab a copy and peruse through, because we have all the interesting stories that we did not bring your way. So just grab a copy and go through it.
Oh yes, so grab a copy now.
All right, thank you so much. And this is where we draw the curtain on today's edition of Morning Ride, Monday's edition, the 13th day in the month of January 2025. From me, I'll say, train your child with love and not hate. That child is a human. So train your child with love and not hate. Wishing you the best of the week. My name is Lilibet Uguchuku, and over to Onume Tano.
Yes, Lilibet has kickstarted it up, as she said, quickly. Train your child with love and not hate. Well, I will sum it up by saying, train a child the way to grow. And when the child grows up, he or she would not depart from it. And so the very solemn and melancholic note we commiserate with the entire DBS family, and of course the AK family, on the sudden demise of one of our best, the HOD of the administration department, the finest Susanna K. Our very best condolences to the entire family. On that melancholic note, we say thanks for being part of Monday's edition. My name is Onometano. God bless the Delta State, God bless Nigeria. Wow.
We are.